What's good, bubs and babes? What's good, y'all? I like that intro. I don't know if I like that intro. I don't know. Let me know if y'all like the intro, bubs and babes. Let me know if y'all like that intro. This is gonna be Thoughts and Rambles number 2. This stuff is coming off the top of my head that your boy T1J has got. My nose is bugging me. It's a little bit lighter this time, so you can actually see my face, like in the first Thoughts and Rambles video, when it was completely dark, and none of you can see me. Now you can see me since it's actually some sunlight out. It's looking pretty dope outside of this. Not really, not that dope. It's man. Okay, people. Let me just nose is bugging me. My nose has been bugging me for a while. I don't know what's up to me, but I'm just getting to these Thoughts and Rambles. People have been asking me. Well, people haven't really been asking me, but I've been seeing a little pattern that's been coming out recently about Kanye West. If you hear my sister in the background, apologize. Decided to make a video. I said I was going to try to be consistent with this, and not that consistent with the last one. I will try to make videos to like my long to part of my link and bring it away. No manners whatsoever. But I'm not gonna try to get into them. Well, I'm not being, but yeah, this thing about Kanye West. Hey bro, did you hear about Kanye? What Kanye said about black people or whatever? Like, I told him, like, I've been seeing this whole controversy with Kanye and stuff. And I'm like, I've been seeing it around. It's been like a pattern. Like, my friends been up on it. Niggas have been up on it. So I'm like, I'm kind of indifferent. So I don't really give Kanye attention because he's married to Kim Kardashian. Like, I don't give dudes attention that's married to like women. Like, I don't care if if you're a black dude that's married to a white woman. I don't care about that. That's okay. That's you, bro. I mean, like, to each his own. If you're a black dude and you like to venture outside your race, I'm cool with that. I'm that type. I'm the same nigga that like to venture outside my race. I'm not pro-black, even though I do like black women. I do like me some black women, but I like all different types as well. Everybody get this heat. But nonetheless, like, what's been bugging me about this is that everybody's up on Kanye's ass giving him attention. And I'm like, don't give Kanye any attention, please. Like, the last thing we need to do is give that dude some attention, because he's with a chick that literally messes up guys, that will mess up the most alpha male black dude because she got a fat booty. And that's it. That's the only quality that Kim Kardashian has. And that's not even the kicker. The thing that kicks me in the dick is the fact that it's not even real. It's not. Her booty not real. Neither is her titties. Like, her freaking boobs and butt is not real. It's not. Neither of them are real. But we giving this nigga attention like he the president of the United States or something. Well, he God or something. He not. Stop giving him attention. Like, I don't give the guy attention, period. Point blank, period. I don't. Um, Now on to so since this is thoughts and rambles, I don't necessarily pick on just one topic. The whole point of thoughts and rambles is that I just go through and through different stuff that's a thought in my mind right now, or that's just been going on as of late. I've been reading a lot of. You guys know I'm a big fan fiction reader, and I've been reading a lot of Titans fan fiction as of late, considering the fact that we're getting a that it's been in confirmation that we're getting a lot of stuff that's coming out in DC right now. We're getting the Death of Superman movie that's recently just been announced. We're getting a lot of Teen Titans and Titan stuff that's coming out, like the live action one, the live action TV show that's coming out in the streaming service. I really wish they have it on CW because that would be great. Hopefully they do. I don't know. We're getting the Young Justice stuff that's coming out in the streaming service as well. I gotta figure out how to get the streaming service, man. And hopefully we'll be getting the old Titans back, which is, I know a lot of people are excited for because it's been a long time coming. But as I'm knowing that, I've been reading a lot of Titans fan fiction. I've been reading fan fiction like since the most part of 2016. Because in 15 and 14, I wasn't really reading much. I stumbled upon it in 16 and I started reading. But I've been reading a lot of fan fiction. Now, a lot of you people about a certain character that I'm a huge fan, that I really like. A certain character I really like on the original show. And she is on my profile picture. If you don't know who she is Jinx, the former villain, superhero now, person, who is Kid Flash's girlfriend. Another fan favorite of mine is Kid Flash. I'm a huge fan of Flash. I'm a huge fan of Wally West, so yeah. And I like the whole Jinx and Wally dynamic, so yeah. What people don't seem to really get though with her character is that I've read fan fiction. I know this is a person's fan fiction, but it's really been to the point where they don't really get her character a lot. Yeah, they get her character as far as, well, the villain part and, you know, the stuff when how Kid is trying to convert her and then he eventually does, but she's still telling him stuff, but she's not 100% on it. Like, she'll tell him stuff just to throw him off. Like, you know, he'll say, well, you did this, that must make you a hero. And she's like, nah, well, no, I'm not a hero. Then what are you? But regardless, yeah, it's like, hold on. What the hell? Oh, my sister was, she slams and opens doors. It's like, she doesn't really open them, she just slams them. It's really annoying. But, basically, is they get her history very wrong. Or they try to make it up as they go. I mean, there's a lot of characters that don't really have the background history. But for Jinx, I've done my research on her like a long time ago. I've done my research on a lot of Teen Titans characters, a lot of DC characters in general. But Jinx happens to be a very, very interesting, a really, really interesting case because you don't really get her. You get Jinx as a character, but you don't get her. You don't really get her. You don't get her background. You don't get how she was or how she is. You don't get none of that. You get her in the Fearsome Five or High Five, if you want to call it that. But you don't get her. You don't get the character. Like, you don't get Jinx behind the pink hair, behind the pale skin, behind all that. Behind the pink eyes, behind the powers. You don't get that. You don't get her character before that because they just threw her in as a villain and then later a hero. But you don't you don't get that. And a lot of things about Jinx is, I mean, if you wanna, I'm not gonna go too deep into her history, but I am going to, if you want at least a little bit of a breakdown of her history, go to a super effective history of Jinx, and after that, go to RNS Entertainment's Fearsome 5 videos, or video, and super effective video on Jinx's history, at least a little bit of her history. And whoops, my phone. I have to fix my phone up a bit, but yeah, if you want to go into that, like go into those things, if you want to know about her character, but like you want to know Jinx's backstory at least, because we don't really get backstory from her. I mean, people will make up things to have her be to have it fit with the story, or try to make up a story. That people have it to where, I know characters, people have it to where she was born with the power, or she gets it later on. Yeah, you're half right when she gets it. You're half right when I say she gets it later on, but Jinx's powers, because people could change how a character gets their powers. I mean, you know when you ever watch, when you watch a Mojo video on a origin of a villain or hero, they'll start with the video. They'll start with, as with most comic book characters, they're often reimaginings to a character's past. When they say that, that means there's been different interpretations or ways that they have written the character or redone it to where they make a whole new origin for a character. But they haven't really made a whole new origin for Jinx herself. They just either threw her in, or they just will throw her in a show or a book or what have you. She hasn't really gotten any she's got mainstream appearances like in the Teen Titans TV show, but she has not gotten any live action appearances. And I know there's people's dream. There's people dream casts, like how they will cast how certain characters will be, and that's cool. Like, I don't mind them. I mean, it would be really nice to see Jinx in the live action version of the Titans. That would be cool. That would be great to see her in that. I'm not even gonna I'm not in SJW, so I'm just saying, like, it would be cool. Just to be clear, I don't really agree with what SJWs are trying to do with media. So, I mean, I've watched a plethora of videos and stuff and trying to get that whole SJW character, or person, as they like to call themselves. But hey, back to her though. Like, you don't get that. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that irk me about character, about what people do with. Not, it doesn't irk me, but it's kind of like like if you're writing let's just say for instance you're writing Jinx and Kid Flash in a love story, right? Love type fan fiction. So like naturally, like at some point their origins are gonna come up. Kid is gonna eventually tell her, like, somebody's gonna write where Kid is gonna eventually tell her he's gonna trust her enough and tell her who he is, really. So, she's probably going to tell him, like, because she's probably going to tell him who she is, but they will, depending on how their version will be, they'll make up a name for her, or they won't really try to really do history on her to know, or do their research to know her actual name, which kind of bugs me to an extent. It has to start with something with a J or an L in it, so it'll fit her as a character. But Jinx Jinx is Hindu. That's another thing that people kind of fail to realize about her, is that she is Hindu Indian. And if you've seen the actual version of her in the comics, that really pops at it. And her pale skin is she probably was Hindu Indian before her accident, which gave her the pink hair, the pale skin, the pink eyes, and her powers. So she probably was like that beforehand. And the whole point behind it is the fact that you tend to like just you have to take it with a grain. I mean, I'm a huge comic book fan. I love comic books. I've loved comic books ever since I was a young boy, and like it's grown with me. Some people when you're into comic books or into something that's particularly different, your parents will tell you, well, you'll grow out of it or something like that. If you're really passionate about something, you won't grow out of it. You won't. You'll stay into it until the day you die. So, and because if your love for something is passionate, you'll stick with it. But I understand that these fans do love the Titans and love Jinx and love everybody else. I'm one of those fans. I just have problems with how they really don't do their research on characters before they start making them. I'm not trying to take shots at them because a lot of these writers are really good at what they do, and I'll give them that. I just like a little bit of a nod to something. It would be great to see, like, to have a little nod to say, oh, well, have a little nod at her past, like her actual past, not a past that you created for her. It will be cool to see, or just like have a nod, have a nod at that, and then mix it in with something that you created for her, because that will be cool to see. I like it when people do stuff. I like I've told my friends this a lot. I like it when they mix old stuff with new stuff, like they're doing now. When they bring like a whole new thing and they mix it up with something old, but make it timeless, which is great. I like how people do that with certain stuff. And for characters like her, it will be great to see something mixed in with that old part of her. With that old past. Like have her, because I like there are certain stories where they do actually play up the fact that she's Hindu Indian instead of just making up a whole skin color for her and just making her white and just calling it a day. I mean, I don't have any problems with white characters, anything like that. I like a lot of characters that are white. I like Kid Flash and he's white. He's a redhead, for crying out loud. Like, but I would like to see a little nod at that. Like, because we don't have a lot of Indian superheroes or Indian supervillains. And Jinx, in my opinion, is the first of many. Is the first of what could be something really cool. I'm just saying though. That's just me. That's just how I feel about the situation. So as far as Kanye, I don't give him any attention. And as far as fan fiction writers who depend who do like writing Jinx and Kid Flash, I mean, you're good at what you do. I just would like to see something a little bit common, a little bit more common. I just like to make it a little more common that Jinx is Hindu Indian, and it would be cool to see a nod at that. I just would like to see it. I mean, it's cool if you don't want to do it or not. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to, but at least do your history, bro. At least I'm just telling you guys who like to make a pass for her to suit the story, at least do your history about a character that you really don't know fully about. Like, this video has gone a lot longer than expected. I ain't expect this to go longer. It's like 20 minutes. I'm sorry if I was rambling, but that's why they call it Thoughts and Rambles. I'm sorry. I expected this to be at least 10 minutes, but I'm sorry. Regardless, yeah, at least do your history about a character. Doesn't matter if it's just Jinx or anybody. Just do it. Like, if you want to add a character in here, just do your history. I mean, I like it how most fans, when they are writing characters like Geoforce, Terra, Jinx, Kid Flash, Robin, etc. I mean, everybody knows Robin's history, but Raven, they like in especially in the really good stories, they do actually wind up giving us a thing, giving us a little history lesson. But with Jinx, they don't really do that. Like, they just make up history. They just make up a past as they go, and then they pass it off as how she really got her powers. There's one story where she got her powers from Cadmus. There's another story where she was born with them. Like, there's another story where she just got them. I mean, yeah, there's like in different ways, but her actual true origins they don't really mention. So it's a bug. It bugs me. But anyway, I'll catch you all later. I gotta dip. It's your boy T1J, and I'm out. Peace.